Hi, my name is Shannon Todd, and the project that I did for my honors independent study course was over the overpopulation and euthanasia rates in animal shelters in the US today, and the history of that, and kind of what we're looking for the future of that. And so I touched on the reasons why companion animals end up in animal shelters and what we as shelter workers, pet owners, and the general public can do to help these numbers decline. And so some of the reasons that we see animals in animal shelters, common reasons would be intact animals. So they're not spayed or neutered, they're roaming in search of a mate, they get hurt, they end up in fights, and they don't have any identification tags on, so they come to us because where else are they gonna go? And so owner surrenders come to us because they can no longer care for their behavioral issues, health issues, or other unforeseen circumstances pop up in their life, like moving and the landlord won't allow the new pet. So I chose this specific topic as my course project because these are issues that I face on a daily basis in my career. I've always had a passion for animals, so that's why I started my college journey to become a registered veterinary technician. I like the medical aspect of helping animals. I like to be able to make them better, feel better. So I found my calling in the shelter environment because these animals don't have somebody all the time that cares for them the way that we care for them. So I want to be able to advocate for their best care and be that person there to help them. And I know there's plenty of other people like me. So it's physically and emotionally exhausting when we are caring for an overcrowded shelter because we have to face difficult decisions regarding humane euthanasia. And I am the medical tech for my Humane Society. And so I am also a certified euthanasia technician, and it's just kind of hard to have to make these decisions when they could be avoided. And so during the research project that I did, I came across heaps of information that solidified things that I see in this field on a daily basis. And it makes you feel a whole lot better that you're doing the right thing and you're on the right track to help these animals. Because of course you can make assumptions about what you see in the field, all the anecdotal evidence. It's easy to be like, oh, I see that microchips help animals go home and that we see so many spayed and neutered animals coming as strays, or unspayed and neutered animals, intact animals coming in. So it's easy to say microchip your animal, spay and neuter your animal when that's what you see locally. But then my research project was on a bigger playing field for the United States. And so it really helped to see those numbers in the masses, to see that it really is helping, that you need to microchip, spay and neuter, make sure that your animal can go with you when you move. These things are important. And so I was also pleased to see the steady decline in the numbers over the years, because it feels like when you're actually in the midst of things that it's a never-ending battle. We see just as many animals coming in as we do going out. Right now we're having an adoption event, Empty the Shelters. So we've gotten 10 dogs to go home in like 2 days, but 10 more come in, 12 more come in, and it's people calling every day, I need to surrender my pet, I need to surrender my pet, and it's hard. So we really want to see these numbers decline. And I hope that my project helps to open people's eyes to what it's like to care for shelter animals, because I want everyone to, whether you're an animal enthusiast like all of us or not, I want them to want to see these euthanasia numbers decline and these overpopulation rates, these intake numbers decline just as much as we do, because it's important for the lives of the animals, for our mental and physical well-being, theirs and that of just the general community. And so my project talks about ways that pet owners can help keep their pets in their care and not in our care. And so I talked about ways to help shelters when these situations cannot be avoided, like donating, fundraising, fostering. Even if you can't keep an animal, it helps to keep an animal out of the cage, out of our time and labor. And sometimes we provide the financial and physical resources like food, other stuff like that, vet bills, but still, even just not being in the building is a big help. And so I know my project talks about a lot of things that people have already heard, and I know you've heard me say it in this video already. And so I'll say it 1,000 times. Spay and neuter your pet, microchip your pet. That helps keep them at home with you and keep them out of here as strays. And when you can't avoid the situation, then we can have somewhere to house these animals that really need it. So like in owner surrender situations, keep your pet, find somewhere that will let them come with you. You wouldn't leave your child behind. Don't leave your pet behind. Plan for the future, plan for their being medical needs, because this is lifelong. They're a lifelong companion. So when you take on a new pet, plan for them to be there 15, 20 years. Plan to pay for medical bills every single year. Plan for emergencies, plan for behavioral issues, you know, if they're gonna need a trainer, if they're chewing, if they're jumping, if they're acting crazy because they're a puppy, because they're not a puppy, you know, they're family. Nobody's perfect, no animal's perfect. So you have to kind of think about that stuff ahead of time as well and just be prepared. And so I wanted to reiterate the importance of those in my project, because we can see in the numbers that it's working, it helps. So do these things, and I urge people to take these recommendations of my project seriously in the future and act accordingly when they're going to add a new pet or they already have a pet in their homes. I think shelters, including my own, could also take some of the advice from this project and kind of recreate the way they do things, be open to new ideas, so that we can help the decline of these numbers. You know, if you can't change, you can't grow. And so that's what we want to do. We want to change, we want to grow, we want to do better for the animals, for ourselves in the future. And I myself have just taken on the marketing work for my shelter on top of the medical work. So I'll be doing fundraising and event aspects of the job, and I'm just excited to see where that takes me, because I know that I can pour so much more research into this and learn just as much as the general public, so that we can all help these animals, for us, for them, for the future.